A lot of us are saying, why me? Why do my parents have to abandon me? Why me? But I realize that there's no strength without pain. So sometimes you have to go through the things you don't want to go through, so it can grow you. So start changing your mindset from why me to why not you. What excuses you giving to yourself? All you need is one can. Let your can be powerful than any cans in your life, but you have to make that decision. A lot of people give us titles of life changer and things like that. I can't change your life. I'm just a seed planter. We just planted seeds, but it's up to you to water it. I can impact your life. I can influence change. I can motivate change, but you have to make that change. Just because your path is lonely doesn't mean your path is wrong. Every single dream starts with a simple understanding that it's obtainable, that you can make it real. If you don't believe in yourself, you're building a city on sand. Everybody won't be willing to grow to where you want to go. Everybody won't make it to your level because everybody won't be willing to sacrifice what it takes to create greatness. Maybe the ones that started with you might not finish with you. Maybe the ones that had your back might turn their back. There's some things you must be willing to give up in order to get ahead. There are some things you must be one to leave behind. Never let the fear of losing people cause you to lose yourself. It's not about perfection, but progression. Sometimes you have to lose everything just to gain everything. Don't let it discourage you. You'll never get to your success by skipping the process. So don't ever stop working. Don't give up on you because they gave up on you. You don't stop believing in you because they stopped believing in you. Your battle is within. Your competition is nobody else. So that means nobody can defeat you except yourself. A lot of people get to a point every time they feel pain. Every time they get told no. Every time the process is hard. Every time they go through struggle. They give up. They think that something is wrong. It's not wrong if you're trying to go for your dream and you fail. It's not wrong if you're trying to get over your past and you still have struggles. What's wrong is when you quit to those things. When you go through those moments, when you hit that brick wall, when you hit that obstacle, when you're going through tears, when you're going through lonely moments, I want you to just keep going.
If you're dependent on motion to change your life will never change. You don't become legendary by accident. You don't become the greatest you by accident. You don't become that person you were created to be by accident. You become that person by being intentional, by saying, you know what? This is what I'm going to get out of this year. Right now, you should be saying, this is what I'm going to get out of this moment. And I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. This is your life. You have to figure it out. You have to figure out what's best for you. But I'll tell you this. Most people have made up their mind that you know what is done. Most people say, oh, my plans didn't go the way they were supposed to go, so I'm just going to tank it. But not you. You're going to make up your mind that you're going to be that 1%. And that 1% is no matter what's happened, no matter how many responsibilities it may be, no matter how many possibilities it may be, I'm going to make it happen. Because people who make things happen, people who are legendary like yourself, people who take it to the next level, they don't depend on motivation to move, because they know they will never move if they depend on motivation. They will never create if they're dependent on motivation. They will never change if they're dependent on motivation. What do? They move to create motivation. Most people move until they're motivated, but rare people, they create their movement to create the motivation. It might be like distractions, like lock in this moment, get something out of this. I don't have all the answers to life. I'm not trying to be, the number one whatever in the world, but I care. I care to impact your heart. I care to impact your life. Because I know one small change, a lot of us think we need these massive things to happen in our life to create massive things in our life. That's not the truth. The smallest changes create the most massive things. It's the little bitty tweaks to your life. It's the little bitty subtractions from your life. It's the little bitty add-ons to your life. So what are you going to get this moment? Because application creates transformation. Listening to this isn't good enough. Posting this on social media, saying you showed up to rise so everyone can see it, isn't good enough. So how do you hack your motivation? Or to become motivated, or just to take your life to the next level? There's hard times all around us, and so many people are waiting for the external things to build their internal self. I'm going to be honest with you. It's not more money. It's not more fame. It's not more success, no matter what people tell you. Because there's a lot of people that are financially free that still aren't free. There's a lot of people that have all the recognition in the world that still feel empty inside. What you have to find is fulfillment. Fulfillment inside of you that's not dependent on the external. That's not dependent on somebody giving you compliments. You have to know who you were created to be. Some of you have allowed comparison because you're comparing your life. You're comparing your imperfections to somebody's perfection. You're comparing your failure to someone else's success. Comparison makes you run a race that's not yours. Comparison makes you live a life that's not yours. Instead of comparing your life, you got to learn to appreciate your life. You got to remember who you were before a hard time showed up. You got to remember who you were before someone gives you rejection. You got to remember who you were before life told you that you wasn't nothing in your life. Remember who you are. You got to write down the facts about your life. Always say this: facts over feelings. Feelings are real, but feelings always aren't right. Feelings tell you that you're not enough. Feelings tell you that you're not capable. Feelings tell you that because your color or because of your circumstances, you can never be whatever, and you live your whole life like that. Some of us, we have already said, this is it for me. You've allowed this thing to become your identity. It's not your life. It's part of your life. It's not your story. It's a chapter in your story. And you hold the pen right now. Every single day, you hold the pen to write whatever it is you want to write. Every time a feeling comes up that you're not capable, remind yourself with the facts that you are capable. You have to live on facts over feelings. Some of you right now, you're living a life that's not yours. You're living a life that is not yours, and you wonder why you don't feel alive. You're living, but you don't feel alive. You wonder why you're going through this mental health crisis. Because a lot of us, what we do is we run from our reality. The greatest war you will ever face is not external, it's internal. And you will never win your war by running from your battles. Get very clear on what you want, not what other people try to give you, not what other people try to tell you that you should be. Get clear on that so you can start constructing your day by the right habits.
I want you for a second to think about in your life, at what point did you lose it? At what point did you lose a belief in yourself? At what point did you lose the confidence in yourself? At what point did you lose the courage in yourself and in your life? Because there was a point in your life when you stopped dreaming, when you stopped believing in yourself. Maybe you stopped loving yourself. There was a point in your life, maybe a chapter, but there was a time in your life when it stopped for you. And maybe it was a health scare, but there was a point in your life where you stopped believing in you and just accepted what someone gave you. You start ignoring your worth. You start negotiating your worth. You start lowering your standards. You start just accepting life. You stop dreaming. You stop believing. There was a time in your life when that happened. And I just want you to picture, just for a second, I want you to think about that time in your life. But at some point in your life, you believed to lie about yourself and you accepted this truth. I don't care what happened. I don't care what you went through. I don't care hard times, mistakes, failure, or whatever. At some point you believe that you're not capable of success. At some point you believed you're not capable of love. At some point you believed that you're not capable of being your best you. And I just want to tell you this message. Remember who you are. You are not your pain. You are not what somebody else told you. You are not what the world tried to put on you. You are not your limitations. You are not your mistakes. You are not your comparison. At some point, you forgot who you are. You forgot that you're capable. You forgot that you're more than a conqueror. You forgot that there is a next level. You forgot your dreams. You forgot your vision. And you turned your back on yourself. If you're sick and tired of just living the same life that somebody put on you, if you're sick and tired of living in the circumstances that you're in, if you're sick and tired of believing that you're not capable, right now is the time that you go remember who you are and you go get back who you are. Whatever that looks like for you. Maybe it's going to the gym for yourself. Maybe it's starting the thing that you've been putting off. Maybe it's removing yourself from an environment. Maybe it's putting yourself in an environment. I don't know what it is for you, but I do know this. Who you are is love. Who you are is incredible. Who you are is awesome. Who you are is creative. Who you are is talented. Who you are is more than pain. You are more than your past. You are more than the people that try to put limitations on you. This is the year where you keep your standards high. This is the year where you stop turning your back on you. This is the year that you stand on what you deserve. You stand on what you deserve. You don't ignore what you deserve anymore. It starts with you. It all starts with you. When are you gonna stand up for what you deserve? I want you to stand on your standards. Make sure people don't lower you and devalue based upon how they see you. Your value is not based upon how people see you. Your value is based upon how God created you to be. Stop letting people who didn't create you control you. When you're gonna be afraid to let yourself down? That's my question to you. You're so afraid of letting everybody else down that you're letting yourself down every single day. You've been letting yourself down for years because you're so afraid to let other people down. Let me tell you this truth. Being afraid to let people down and you letting yourself down, the process is letting everybody down who needs you to be the best you. Because at some point when you're pouring out, you're not getting poured into. And at some point, you become empty. When you're doing things for everybody else, it is not being reciprocated. And at some point, you start feeling used. We're supposed to be used by God, not by people. And I know God uses us to help people, but some of us, we confused being used with being misused. Some of you are being misused by people, being misused by your job, being misused by everybody else because you negotiated your worth, because you gave people permission to dictate how you feel, because you are so afraid to let people down. Stop letting you down. Listen, I got a simple question for you. Do they make you better? Who is they? Whoever you're around on a daily basis. Your relationship, your friendship at your business, your partnership. Do they make you better? I'm not talking about better in the way of financially or better of a way in status. I'm talking about as a person. Do they make you better? If they don't, why are you around them? You know they're making you better when they hold you accountable. When you made a commitment to yourself or to others, they hold you to that. When you say you want to do a certain thing with your life, they hold you to that. When you say you want to take your life to next level or start a business or a vision, they hold you to that. And when you're not going in the right direction, they check you because they care about you. You know they're making you better when they inspire you with their life. Being around them makes you feel better in some form or fashion, big or small. It makes you want to become more. It makes you want to take your life to another level. It makes you want to become a better servant. It makes you want to become a better person in general. You know they make you better when they empower you. They help you out that struggle. They strengthen your faith. They speak to your greatness. They should bring out the light in you, not the darkness. So if you're around people that are not bringing out these things, why are you there? I'm not saying they got to do them all, but the more things they can do to show you that they make you better, the more your time should be around them.